Hi everyone and welcome to another PS Health IGTV. I am very excited about today's video because I am going to be making my Choc-Chip cookies. They are gluten-free, refined sugar-free and dairy-free. So they are healthy, but there is indulgence included. So I have chosen, my choice of chocolate is Loving Earth chocolate. So they are known for making dairy-free, gluten-free, refined sugar-free chocolate, but you can replace these chocolates with, Cadbury Dairy Milk if you choose, M&Ms, so you can modify these, and I will explain that along the way as well. These are plant-based, they're not actually vegan because I do use honey, but you can, if you like, replace the honey with rice malt syrup as well. So I am going to break this up into two sections. So we've got the dry mixture section and then the wet mixture section. And we will start with the dry mixture. So on the screen, I will just place what you need and require. So you will need a cup of almond meal, a cup of buckwheat flour, 2 tablespoons of coconut sugar, a 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder, a pinch of Himalayan Pink Salt, and your chocolates. So let's dive into the dry mixture. So I've got a cup of buckwheat that goes straight into the mixing bowl. Then you have your almond meal. So I've just measured these out already, so they're all good to go. Then we have the 2 tablespoons of coconut sugar. These are unrefined as well. So I've tried to, as some of you know, I'm an advocate for clean ingredients. So I try to find ingredients that are less processed when possible. That way you can really just get the benefits from them as opposed to having, ingredients that aren't really ideal for your health. So moving on to the baking powder, 1/4 teaspoon. Just placing that in there. And a pinch of salt. Might put a bit more. I do like that sort of salty kick to my sweets. And then adding the Choc-Chips. So I've just grabbed a big bar, and I've cut them up into little pieces and just throw all of that into the dry mixture. So again, you can keep the base of it quite healthy, but the chocolate can be any sort of chocolate that you like. And then mix it all together in the mixing bowl. Just make sure that all of the ingredients are mixed in well, because you don't want any clumps of sugar or chocolate stuck together. So moving on to our wet mixture. So I'm going to set that aside for a second. I've already organized and heated this up, so this is ready to go. Oh, I do want to mention that I have had the oven on as well, so it's preheated at 180. So just make sure that that is going before you start. So I have got 2 tablespoons of coconut oil and 2 tablespoons of honey. Again, you don't have to use honey. You can use rice malt syrup. You can choose any syrup, maple syrup, whatever you feel, whatever your diet requirement is. So 2 tablespoons of coconut oil, 2 tablespoons of honey, and heat it either on the stove, which I've already done, and I've just sort of let that cool down a little bit because you don't want to put the wet mixture boiling hot in this, because it'll start to fry what's in the dry mixture. So I'm just trying to emulsify as much as I can. Obviously the coconut oil and the honey separate, so I'm just trying to mix it as much as I can. Blend it in, and then I'm going to put some organic vanilla essence, or vanilla extract I should say, just like a cap full of that. Maybe a little bit, just a little bit more. So maybe a teaspoon of vanilla essence, vanilla extract. And just keep mixing that in. So now that these two are ready to go, now with this next step, you can completely omit this if you want, but if you like your cookies fluffy and chewy, I'm partial to that, so I can't lie. I really recommend putting in either vegan egg, or you can put a normal egg, depending on what you like. So I'm going to put a vegan egg replacement, which is basically flaxseed and chia with a bit of water, and it's turned into essentially an eggy consistency. So this is going to help bind all of the ingredients together. So I'm going to just create a little well, putting the egg in there. And then last but not least, placing the wet mixture like so. You can tweak this. This is the beauty of this. You don't have to use buckwheat or almond. You can use all sorts of flours. It's really just, there's room to experiment, which I really love. Now I'm mixing everything together. I'm trying to get the coconut oil and the honey really to bind all of that together. So in order to help create more of a cookie dough consistency, I'm just going to use a little bit of almond milk. You can use any nut milk. So I've just used half a cup. So just go a little bit by little bit. Don't pour the whole thing in because you don't want to have a wet mixture. I mean, if it's too wet anyway, you can still put a bit more buckwheat flour. You really have room to play around here. There we go. We're starting to get the consistency. Now, if you prepare all your ingredients before you start, this won't take long at all. Okay, so really just mix it. It should create this really doughy, thick. This is going to help plate it on the pan before we put it in the oven. So the thicker and, you know, doughy it is, the better, but you don't want it to be, I could put a little bit more in here actually. So again, it's just finding that happy medium. All right, I think we've got the perfect consistency here now. So that's ready to go. I'm going to bring the tray out. I'm going to start placing the cookies on the pan. So I kind of use a tablespoon of the cookie mixture, and then I use 2 spoons to help me, because it can be a little bit sticky, to help me get that really beautiful sort of form. And it'll help me keep all of the chocolate and the dough as one, because sometimes this can separate. I tend to get between 9 and 12 cookies out of this, so depending on how big you want them. Again, I like mine chewy, big, kind of like a mini cake. But really, you can just create how you like. So I'm just going to place these on the tray. And just be careful that you do create a little bit of space, because these tend to expand quite a lot. So I'll just continue putting these on the tray and I will get back to you in a second. Okay, so I have my baking tray with parchment paper on and all the cookies are ready to go. So to be quite honest, I didn't make them super pretty. I kind of like them to look a little bit rustic. So I've made them, they're all different sizes, some are smaller than others, and yeah, I think that's really the beauty of it, that it's not so perfect. So the oven, like I said, has been on and ready to go. So these only need between 10 to 12 minutes, depending on, I guess, the oven that you have. And the power of it, whether it's fan forced. So just really keep an eye out on them and make sure that they don't overcook. But if you do like them a little bit hard, you can go to like the 12-13 minute mark, but I wouldn't go any more than that, otherwise they will burn. So in they go. All right, so there you have it. They've been in the oven for 11 minutes and they are ready to be eaten. So just make sure once they're out of the oven that you give them at least 5 minutes to just sit and cool down, and then they are ready to eat. Have a cup of tea, a cup of coffee, and enjoy these. They're really beautiful, soft and chewy. So with that being said, enjoy if you do make them. Let me know how you went. If there's any problems, don't hesitate to ask. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you at the next one. Bye.